welcome to another episode of Questlog. This is episode 21. My name is Tyler Everett, and joining me as always is Brian Maxwell. How's it going, man?
Not too bad, Sugar Bear. How you doing?
It's been a rough week, Brian. I'm not going to lie to you. Sickness has befallen my house.
Ruin.
Ruin has come to our family. But we're hanging in there. And I'm here to do a podcast about video games, which is great. So, Kat, you're with us as well. Welcome, Kat.
Thank you.
Glad to have you back for another episode.
Good to be here.
Got some exciting stuff to talk about.
Stay awake.
Oh, the thunderstorm will keep you awake. Yeah, if we lose power here, everyone, by the way, there's some crazy thunderstorms going on here in Michigan, so apologies if this just goes away. Yeah, the wrath of God has affected us tonight, so there you go. And there's an unfamiliar face in the upper right-hand corner there. That, everyone, is Aaron Crane. You might not recognize him because he's not making the face.
Hang on.
Can you do the face?
Is it this?
There you go. It's close enough. It'll do the job.
Oh, that's perfect.
Just keep that for the rest of the show.
Just keep it like this for the rest of the show?
Yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah, just
That's
stab
the
it.
one.
There it is.
All right, I got it. I'm good. I'll say like this the whole show.
That's your
good
season
stuff.
ring.
Good stuff. And Luke Phillips, everyone. Welcome back, sir.
Yo. How's it going?
It's great to be here. Great to have you. I'm excited to get this thing going. Oh, Brian, you know what? Before we do, though, you had some shenanigans at GameStop this week. Do you want to
Yeah, a
talk about
little bit.
Yeah, what was going on? You tried to buy some games, and you had like a 33% success rate with that.
Yeah, I got a PlayStation 4 last week, and I joined the GameStop Pro Rewards Times thing.
Power to the players.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yep. So when you get that, you get a buy two, get one free coupon.
Okay.
And I'm great at talking myself into things. So I said, we need a second controller for the PlayStation 4. That's about a $50 used purchase. And if I'm going to do that, I should use the buy two, get one free. And to take best advantage of it, I should buy more full-price games because that's how that works, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
And so I got the controller and Final Fantasy 15. And then Dragon Quest Builders as my free game. When I got home, Dragon Quest Builders was actually Dragon Quest Heroes. They kind of stealthed that into the box instead.
Almost. That's almost right.
Sounds close enough.
It's mostly
they
right.
got both of the words right.
Yeah, two out of three ain't bad.
And then the controller didn't work. Like the jack on it was all screwed up, and I couldn't plug it in. So
It's user error. Was it upside down? Did you try the other way?
that must have been it. I gotta call those guys.
Yeah.
No, I went back and they
Did you
didn't
try taking
have
it
it.
to the Geek Squad?
They exchanged the controller for me.
Oh, that's
And
good.
didn't have any more Dragon Quest Builders. And they couldn't order it in from another store. So they ordered in a new copy from another store. I'm going to go back once the new copy gets there. But the guy was like, I'll call you when it gets here. And I'm thinking, like, this is getting to be a long, convoluted chain of events. My name's not on it. I'm exchanging my used one for a new copy. Like, like if I get the wrong person, they're going to be like, what the hell are you talking about? We can't do this for you.
Isn't it going to be in the system? Like they have an electronic system where they should have those notes written in there that says this is coming in for so-and-so.
Should.
This is the number. So as long as they are not total screw-ups, everything should be in their system.
I
Applying a
think
lot of logic to this.
he's making an exception for me. Like,
Send
he's giving-
Kat. She's got this figured out. She's gonna go in
Cat,
there.
Cat, this is a GameStop. They're all screw-ups by very definition. I know because I worked there.
He was one. It's true.
And
I was one.
I pre-ordered Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah. I'm surprised that you're as hyped for that as you are, because
It looks real good.
Yeah.
I'm prepared to be disappointed.
Maxwell, which location did you go to?
The one by TJ Maxx and McDonald's.
Oh, okay, then never mind.
all right.
Okay, good story.
Was you?
No, I don't know.
Try to pull some strings there for him or something. Or?
No, because I know like one or two of the people that work at the one by the Walmart, but I don't know anybody who works at the other one. So was gonna try that.
Why didn't you go for the one by the Walmart?
Yeah, come on, Brian.
Hey,
Well, I'll tell you why, actually. Mike that works there is a nice guy and just the most fake salesperson I've ever met, and I don't like interacting with him.
There you go.
That's
there
why.
you go.
You're on
Making
notice,
enemies.
Mike from the GameStop by Walmart. You've been put on notice.
He's actually been a guy working for GameStop or the EB Games that used to be in the mall for a long time. Tom used to work for him.
Yep.
Years and years and years ago.
I know my name, and he's okay, but he always seems to have the I'm a salesman facade going on. Like, I don't think I've had an authentic interaction with him ever.
Okay.
I could be wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's me. It's probably me.
I would, yeah. You kind
Someone get Mike.
Is it me?
Brian,
You guys
you
are
aren't.
talking-
Brian, you are not the most. How
You're
do I put
snap-
this?
You're
Retail.
snap-
I wasn't gonna say that. I would say retail and you are kind of at odds.
I don't like salespeople.
Yeah, you don't like people talking to you without your consent, without at least eye contact being made.
I'm
which
pretty
is
sure
understandable.
Brian just doesn't like
Me,
people.
Yeah, it's okay. You can just
I
not
like
like people.
I like authenticity, and I don't like it when people are like, hey, let's be friends so I can sell you shit. I'm your friend, right? You want to buy some shit?
Hey, buddy, I know you're really into that Horizon Zero Dawn, but have you heard about the new God of War? Would you like to pre-order that today? Because you get a 10% off any trade-in pre-order
Exactly.
bonus
And I
with
know
our
it's
Power Up
their
Rewards
job.
program.
It's fine. It's their job, but I don't have to like it. And I remember way back when, do you remember the game Two Worlds?
I do remember that game.
He was trying to sell me a copy of it because I was
Fat
there for
bastard.
Oblivion or something, and I was like,
Yeah.
this has been getting real dismal reviews. And he's like, no, that's not what I read. I read something. I was like, no, you fucking didn't. It got like 2 out of 10 everywhere in the world. And he was trying to be like, no, this is the next, this is
That
the
next
next
big
thing.
thing.
This one blows
Yeah.
Oblivion out of the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brian, but you can beat that game in like 3.5 minutes without any glitches. So can it really be all that bad?
Yeah. Like if you would have brought that up, I might have gone for it.
There's your professional speedrunning career.
That's
right
the worst
there.
game I ever finished. That's the worst game I ever played from start to end because it was so bad I couldn't stop. It was art, sound, voice acting, graphics, controls. It was just.
This
it
ain't
was
your
awful.
daddy's Elder Scrolls.
I think I put all of 3 minutes into that game and quit.
I couldn't look at it, nor could I look away.
Well, with that, let's get into what we've been playing. That's the wrong music. This is the right music. There we go. All right. Brian. I know what I'm doing here. I'm a professional.
Who
Brian.
was it that picked Tyler to be the host of this show?
We all did.
Two straws.
I was the first one to get a webcam. Crane, you just go in a corner for a little bit.
I voted
We
third
got
party.
This is
It's
fine.
probably my fault.
Brian, you played something called Holy Potatoes, It's a Weapon Shop. And I can't figure out why you did that, but you did.
That's actually my fault. Offensively.
It is kind of Luke's fault.
All right.
He reminded me that it exists, and it was one of those deals I got in like a Humble Bundle for $1, One of those, I don't know how this got here, and I never played it things. It's very much like a free-to-play mobile game, but without being free-to-play,
Okay.
which is actually much, much better. Like, you own a weapon shop, you craft weapons and sell them to people, you research new weapons. If you ever played Game Dev Tycoon,
Mhm.
it's that kind of thing where you've got multiple people working on a weapon, and each one, like this one adds speed, and this one adds strength, and this one adds magic, and they all add their own attributes to it. There are meters that fill up. There are lots of exciting text on the screen and little dings when good things happen, and sometimes I just want a game to show me
It's
me
dings.
accomplishing things and dings and exclamation points and level ups, and
I
that's
like the dings.
kind of what this does without any of the free to play shit where it's like, God, this is a long time to wait, huh? Here's a gem. You should get more gems.
You don't like a game that tries to sell to you. I'm noticing a theme here.
Surprise.
99 that's the most popular package, but 99.99 that's the best savings.
Right? Yeah.
You are
I want-
saving
I want-
money
I
by
want the
spending
most-
$100.
I want the most gems for my buck, and I want to know how to get that efficiently.
Those games are predatory. I don't like them.
But it meets your unique needs end to end.
It does not meet my needs. Stop that talk.
Not in this house. Not in this house.
Oh, God.
Oh man. So what did you think of it overall? Is it something that you will play again or more? I'm liking the little guys doing the little dance. Okay, cool.
See, it's good for when I just don't want to think and want a simple game that's going to make me feel like I've accomplished something. It's because there are free to play games that are similar to this that I've gotten into for short periods of time, but then the free to play trappings always drive me away and make me feel bad.
Mm-hmm.
Either like this game is clearly just trying to get me to buy stuff, or all right, to get to the next level, you've got to recruit 2 friends. And as soon as I see that, it's like, nope, we're done.
Yep, uninstall.
Yep. Luke knows. Yeah, it's good for what it is.
I've got a question about this game.
How can I help you today?
And maybe Luke could answer this as well. I don't know.
Yeah, Luke's got it.
But I understand the weapon shop part of it, but where do the religious root vegetables come into play?
Luke?
What? I never played this game, so I don't know why it's
I
being
thought
handled
you
to me.
played this game.
No. There's a segue that we're going to do, I think.
It's
Tyler set it up correctly.
There's
so
supposed to
it
be
will happen.
holy potatoes, and I see 0 potatoes.
That's an
See
explanation.
potatoes.
Like, holy shit.
Oh.
Like, the shit has been
Potato.
blessed.
Oh, so they were doing a thing with the title?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a clever thing.
And the people are little potato people.
I was kind of hoping for potatoes.
It could happen later.
There are potatoes.
They
There's
are
not-
potatoes.
Yeah.
They're just not
not
holy
necessarily
potatoes.
holy.
That's a sad
Oh.
face.
I don't really want Satanist potatoes. Well, actually, I probably would prefer
It's
a
not
Satanist
binary.
potato.
It's not one or the other. There's a gray area. There's a whole gray area. Craig.
Oh, sorry. They could be agnostic.
Thank you. Nihilist potatoes.
I don't know if anyone's appreciated. I don't know if anyone's
There's a whole
appreciated
spectrum on
that
the lifeline.
there is a potato named Laura Kraft right now. That's a potato.
Oh yeah, the puns just come pouring out of this game. Yep.
Laura Kraft.
Yeah, she's got a green shirt and a ponytail and some adventuring gear. And who else you got, Brian? Are there any more good pun people in here? Oh, there's an ex-soldier that looks like Cloud Strife from Final Fantasy VII. There you go.
Yep.
It's pretty good.
Bulk Bogan.
Bulk Bogan. There you go. Is he the guy working the forge right now with the sweet handlebar mustache?
Yep.
And
Sure
the
is.
bandana? Checks out. Name checks out. Well, if, potatoes in a weapon shop wasn't it doing it for you, could I sell you on some potatoes in space?
You have my
Luke?
attention.
Yes. So this is how this all went down. Is Potatoes or We're in Space is a sequel, kind
The
of.
follow-up,
I
a
don't know if it's a
spiritual
sequel.
successor.
It's in the same. It's the same branding.
Yeah, same branding. And I saw that Brian had Weapon Shop, so I asked him about it, and then he started playing it. We're in Space is a spaceship sim strategy game where you get a spaceship
But
and you
potatoes.
have people in it. Yeah, you have potatoes in it,
Potato people.
and you have
Hey,
to.
It's the SS quest log.
It
Look at
is the
that.
SS quest log. Yes.
It's pretty good.
So you have a ship and you're exploring the galaxy. It's much like FTL, if you ever played that. So
Got
you're
it.
jumping from system to system, exploring planets. There's interactions that happen, and they could be good or bad. You fight different ships. You loot them.
Are they
you go back
random?
to base.
Whether it's good or bad?
Yes. I'm pretty sure they're random.
Okay.
Is that a
And
pickle?
yeah,
Is that an
It
evil
could be.
pickle that you're fighting?
you find all sorts of just crazy things in it.
It's a pickle
You-
person.
And they do take the puns to the next level here. I encountered Harry Pord, dressed up as Han Solo with the Indiana Jones music playing in the background. And he's an adventurer, exploring ruins.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I haven't put a whole lot of time in this game yet. I really want to. It's very fun, very tongue-in-cheek. Doesn't take itself seriously.
Punny?
It's very punny, yes.
We know Luke loves puns.
You know, I don't like puns, but this does it very, very well.
It rises above.
Yep. It's got my stamp of approval. It's very difficult, though. I did, I think, 3 recordings for this video because the first 2 I just failed so miserably, and this one doesn't even end that well.
I just upload them anyway. Let you guys laugh at me.
Yeah. This was just a boss fight where I was dying over and over again. It wasn't very good. But it's very challenging. And you have to move from system to system. You have like 20 souls. Yeah. SOL. And much like FTL, if you spend too much time in one area, the big bad mothership comes and gets you and you have to fight it. So you have to keep jumping and progressing farther and farther.
You're making me want to play FTL.
You should honestly try this, Brian. I think you would really like it.
It's on my radar.
Yeah.
And
give it a shot.
It's got Scallion Johansson in it, too, so...
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Saw that. Saw that was real good.
Mm-hmm.
Sold.
Well, hey, Mike, if you're out there, a bunch of episodes back, you emailed in and asked us if we were stoked about Final Fantasy 15, and we all kind of went,
No.
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 But
how things have changed.
I'm here to tell you that Kat, she took up the mantle, and she played some Final Fantasy 15 for you, and she's going to tell you about it.
For you, though. She did it exclusively.
You
for
had
Mike.
best appreciate it.
We deliver to our fans.
That's right.
Yes, Final Fantasy 15. So the main character's name is Noctis. He's the son of King Regis, and he's kind of emo with his father, which is entertaining. You meet them, like you see their relationship just briefly before you go off with your 3 friends.
Wait, when you say he's emo with his father, is he like,
Fuck
gosh,
Dad.
Dad stops his room and slams his door?
Yeah,
Dad doesn't
got-
understand me.
I'm sure
It's teen angst.
we'll find more history on it later on, but there's definitely a struggle relationship between the 2 of them. So he goes off with his friends. They're non-playable. Noctis is the only playable character, but he has 3 buddies. Ignis, who's like the intelligent, nerdy guy. He cooks. He drives the car if you don't want to personally drive the car, and he fights with daggers. Gladiolus, however you pronounce it, he's like the big, bulky dude. Very strong. He uses 2-handed swords.
Is the sword taller than he is?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Final Fantasy confirmed.
Yeah. And then there is Prompto, who is our ranged firearm user, and he's kind of like a squirrely, kind of like the comic relief guy of the group.
He's the Gimli.
And he also is a photographer. Among just, they all have their specific weapons. Noctis can interchange through weapons. So far, I've tried javelins, I've tried broadswords, I've tried 2-handed swords, firearms.
Now this is a very modern day setting. They've got
It is. They have
cell
cars.
They've got smartphones and.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, this is not the clothing is kind of
Awful.
well,
Because it's awful.
it's an anime Final Fantasy
It's a
game.
Japanese RPG.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They look like a boy band.
They do. They look like a terrible emo boy band thing that just is awful.
See the sword? There's a sword.
Yeah,
It looks like they've taken Final Fantasy and made it like a road trip, like Friends on a Road Trip kind of
Brocom.
game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Actually,
Final Fantasy goes to Hollywood.
when people complain that it was not a usual Final Fantasy, that's the kind of thing that gets my attention.
Well, they are on their way to his betrothed's city, land, and instead of just walking, you have a nice car and a regalia.
The regalia.
Yeah, a regalia, whatever that is.
Is it
Isn't
like
it?
Buick Regal? Is that what it is?
I'll have to get you a
Yes.
picture of it. I don't know if I got the screenplay of them in the car. The storyline so far is awesome. The artwork is awesome. It's much better on the TV versus what you can see here. It's an open world. However, you have a map so you can find your destinations much easier. There's a lot of customizations. Like apparently if you change clothing, it can change your character's attributes. I haven't played with that part yet.
You should, because the khaki, or the, what are they called? What are they called when they go halfway down your leg? 3/4 length. Whatever he's got going on right now.
You like the open skin right there?
Yeah, I like that his pants stop before his boots start. That looks real comfortable.
Yeah.
Now you've got a world map with little side quests and things to go and find on the map. It seems like it doesn't.
Like you don't have to stick with the story. You can play
Right.
in each city. Like I've only been to 2 cities so far, and I'm not near my destinations. But in each city, I can go off and do hunting quests and earn money and XP, which is really awesome.
That's cool. You're fighting some
like
kind of big
seeing-
rhino
so-
thing here.
Yeah, you pick up objects throughout the world to make magic. You have the guy that cooks food. He can learn recipes. You can go eat at restaurants, and he can pick up the recipes. I do have to say, their tutorial was amazing and very thorough. So I felt like I could go in and fight. Although the fighting system is the only gripe I have about the game so far. It's real time and it's kind of awkward. When you are fighting in a game, sometimes the scenery will disappear. It doesn't do that in this game, so you can get yourself all kinds of lost and get your butt kicked if you're not paying attention, which happens when you have a 3-year-old walking in front of you sometimes. So
Yeah, I can see they just killed a giant rhino monster, and then he's right on his cell phone, right after calling somebody.
yeah,
That's not the thing that gets me about that. It's that his hair is perfectly coiffed, even after just this huge
It's a video
brawl
game.
that he's been into. But his hair is just goddamn gorgeous after that.
That's a pretty minor gripe with a video game.
But it's one of those things that just his whole look just pulls me right out of this game. I want
see-
to like this,
Kring,
but
you
he
think
looks so
Your
dumb.
favorite game of all time is Shining Force 2, and
yeah.
the
And Shining
guys don't
Force
look
2
disheveled and weird after a battle. Okay, so
Shining
you
Force
just-
2 looks like a cartoon.
It's a Japanese RPG, and that's got a certain look that comes with it. And
Yes.
if you don't like that, you're not going to like this.
yeah. The last
It's
one.
part of the reason why I never got into them.
Oh, see, I liked Final Fantasy X. I played 10-2. I didn't play anything after that because we just.
12 was pretty good.
Anytime it got mentioned, I got that look in my eye like I want it, but it's just not something we've gotten into. Kids kind of keep
Man.
that from happening.
I've been
Ken, I want to
watching-
say that I'm super excited for you to play this game because I really want to see your reaction at the end. I didn't personally play it, but I watched a lot of stream of
Everybody
it.
dies. It's gonna be like Game of Thrones. Everybody dies, right?
It's
Well, I'll say that I watched the end fight scene in the end cinematic.
Oh, you
and-
haven't played it?
No, I've not played it. I just
you
watched it on
the
Twitch.
pre-movie, what is it, Kingsglaive?
Yes, Kingslave. Which, Kat, you should
That's-
really watch that as well.
Kingsglaive?
Yep, it's the movie that they made to go with this.
Okay.
Um,
So you watch the end movie though, so you know what happens?
That's the end.
No.
Is that like post or is that
the,
before?
the movie takes place pretty much during right now when Kat's playing.
Okay.
There's going to be a cutscene that happens shortly that also happens towards the end of the movie. So it all syncs up very good. But on Twitch, I watched people play it, and I saw the end cinematic for the game.
Hmm.
And I'll say that a lot of the comments about the character kind of get addressed in the end. There's a very large character arc, and I'm excited for you to play it. Because, yeah, I want to hear your thoughts on the ending. I think
It's
it'll
really
be crazy.
I'm enjoying it. I love the look of the game. I love the feel of the game, and I just want to sit and play it and not have a job right now. So
I know,
I'm
Kat,
gonna play
you've
it too. Like
yeah.
I really like what I've seen so far. It looks like it strays pretty far from the Final Fantasy formula, and
in a
most
good
of
way.
those games didn't work for me. So
And Tyler, just for you,
Hmm.
I'm gonna put them in their casual outfits, which are even worse.
Oh,
So
Oh yeah.
next time we have a video, you'll get to see that fun
yeah,
bit.
those aren't Vikings. Those aren't Vikings at all. Fuck this game.
I am actually super impressed with
Where are their beards?
Yeah, get one of them a beard. Come on, please. Just one. The big guy with the big
Noctis
two-handed
grows a
sword.
beard.
One cool thing too
bet he
is there
doesn't.
is magic. I don't know if I showed magic in the game, but you can walk around and you suck, like you absorb the elements and you can make magic in the game, and that part's really cool.
Yeah, I know, Kat, you said that you are a big graphics whore when it comes to
I
to
am a
that,
graphics whore.
and
It looks good.
it looks
The
good.
PS4 remote play looks nice, but like I was watching it on the computer, and she had it on the on the TV at the same time, and it really looks a whole lot better on the TV. Like I didn't realize how much until I saw them side by side. Like it's a lot more vibrant on the TV.
Right. Yeah, the game looks awesome.
Yeah. When this first came out, I really didn't care at all for it. But then I started watching it and getting parts of the storyline. And so those games I really wish would come out on PC because I would buy it and play it.
I'm excited to see where the storyline takes you because we are hitting so many other. You guys get to meet the Big
mechanics.
boots.
The mechanic.
Yeah.
Oh,
big
yeah.
mechanic, yeah.
There's the regalia.
Funny.
think that's
Yeah,
her
there's
name.
the regalia. No, her name's Cindy.
Ah,
You do. There is a character. I was looking it up because there's a character named Sid in here, and I'm like,
there's always a Sid.
There's always a Sid. So I looked it up and found out there is indeed always a Sid, in some kind of character
Yeah,
in the game.
Oh, I thought this was it. I thought she was Sid.
that's
No.
not a practical.
No, she's Cindy. Yeah,
outfit
she's a
for
mechanic.
working on a car at all. Boobs are still.
She's gonna burn every bit of her.
Brian, I've played a lot of Car Mechanic Simulator, and that is the exact outfit you wear in that game. So I feel like you're wrong.
You know what? You're the experts here, so I will
Yeah, defer.
defer to your knowledge.
You want to know the funny thing is the car mechanic, because you can customize your car as well. I actually have Final Fantasy 5 and 8 music to play in my car,
That's cool.
but the mechanic in the next town has like full overalls and everything on.
Must be a regional thing. Yeah, she's got a southern accent too. She's like, "Howdy, y'all."
Yeah, yep. But I'm impressed with the game. There'll be more gameplay the more I play because it's amazing.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too.
It's so up my alley.
Cool.
I'm glad you're enjoying it. And yeah, find a way to watch Kingslave.
I'll try and
Look
do
into
that
it.
tomorrow.
We'll discuss this after.
Okay,
I have a way.
you have a way.
Good stuff.
My media server.
This is the kind of stuff every now and again where like I look at this and then I think back to like when I first saw like Pitfall on the Atari 2600 and just how far video games have come. Like it's just this would have been inconceivable years ago.
Yep, all the like clothing effects and just the lighting and everything. It's all real pretty. Well, to switch gears completely and go in a totally different direction, Oxygen Not Included is something you played this week, Brian, and it looks completely different than that.
Yeah, it does look a little bit different. It's a game from Clay, the Don't Starve and Mark of the Ninja people. I like all their stuff, and this is no exception so far. It just went into early access this week. It's a base building survival game. I think they're like maybe on an alien planet, I want to say. Doesn't matter, they're underground. So you're harvesting different kinds of rocks and minerals and crafting stuff to survive. People need food, oxygen, and toilet. Those are the tabs.
Toilet. Mom, bathroom.
Yeah. I know, pumpkin.
Pumpkin made an appearance on the episode
Yeah.
again there tonight, everyone.
So you can't be irregular.
It's all right.
He's an old man. He deserves it.
Yeah. Okay. Down you go, baby. Okay. So you got your toilet. You need food, oxygen, and
yeah, you
toilet
do. Mhm.
in order to survive. Those are the must-haves.
Can't be
These are
shitting
all
on the
things
ground
that you,
underground. That's a real bad time.
yeah. These are all things that you craft. So you start.
I mean,
just a little,
well, when you're already in a hole in the ground, how do you shit in the hole?
you have to
You're in the
craft.
same hole.
You have to craft a shitter.
Exactly.
What if the shitter's full?
It's a more different hole.
You have to craft a new shitter.
Can that happen? Can you fill your shitter?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
You don't directly give your people orders. Like you start with people, and every 10 minutes or so, you get a new one that just warps in.
Okay.
So like you'll give commands for like all right, I want this section of
Second
hole dug out, and I want this built, and then whoever happens to do it does it. So you're not directly giving them orders. Like there's a tech tree. There's research to be done. The game gives a lot more detail than I know what to do with. It's kind of overwhelming. Like it tells you how, like if you mouse over a square, it'll tell you the temperature of the square. Like it tells you stuff about the pressure down there and just things I don't really understand that well.
I'm sure that becomes important. Like if you start digging down into something, you don't want to cause an explosion or.
Yep. There's CO2 that you can dig into, and like it'll tell you that it's not breathable. So there's stuff you can craft to turn the CO2 into breathable air. There's stuff you can craft to turn like dirty water into drinkable water. You see the little hamster wheel on there. You've got to craft a little hamster wheel power generator for someone to run in. And you've got to build wires to connect wires up to the things that need power. You got to craft cots for people to sleep in. This looks like it might be a Luke game, possibly.
Yeah, you showed me this a few days ago, and yeah, it looks pretty good. I'd be down to try it for sure.
There's definitely you got to be careful though. Like there's water on different levels, and I dug up under some of the water, and apparently I dug too far because all of a sudden I'm seeing water coming from somewhere up above, and like we dug under a lake, and then everything flooded, and then I turned it off.
Sounds like you got too greedy.
I
Delved
dug
too deep.
too greedily. Yep.
Blanche is just messing stuff up with a laser gun. She's going to town. Not here.
Yeah, like people can have different specialties, which makes it kind of frustrating that you can't give them directions. Like I got a scientist who got bonuses when doing research, but she almost never did the research. Like someone else would do it, and I can't tell them. I can just be like, I want research done, and someone will do it, but I can't tell one person to go and do it specifically.
It does seem weird.
It's also early access. Like it just went into early access this week, so I'm sure there's going to be a lot of changes. I'm impressed so far, though.
I feel like that should be one of the suggestions. Like, let me just command one person to do the thing that I want them to do. That would be good.
At least have the option. Like I think it's better to just issue commands and let the people do it rather than try to micromanage.
Yeah, it'd be a lot to micromanage, but they
But
should
if you
take
could
like precedence though.
if you could micromanage like the bonuses, like Max was talking about, like I want research done, but I want you specifically to do this research.
And it's possible there's a way to do that. I just haven't found it yet. Like it doesn't seem to give you a whole lot of direction.
Maybe there's a way to like like Luke said, set priorities. So it's like, okay, when research happens, I want Blanche to go there, or I want whoever. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, it's got a lot of potential so far. Clay Entertainment always nails it. Even if I don't like the kinds of games they always make, I'm always impressed with the games themselves. They're always well made. Like Invisible Ink is not my kind of game, but it's really, really well done.
Yeah, they're cool. They seem to support their games for a really long time too. Like, Don't Starve is constantly getting updates.
Yep. And it's got that like whimsical look that they have to all their games.
Really well done 2D art. I like it. Mark of the Ninja got DLC like way after it came out. So
When are we going
to
to Starve together and stream
We
it?
should do that soon.
These days.
We're into that. Any day now.
Soup.
Well, Kat, I think that the thing that'll do it for oxygen not included. What about A Night in the Woods? What is that?
A Night in the Woods is an adventure game, and you are a cat.
What?
Okay.
You are a cat. Actually,
Yeah,
like,
no, you are cat.
no.
You.
You.
They're all like anthropomorphized animals.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't play into the story. They're not like I'm a cat, I'm a bird. They're all
Do
just. They all talk
do I-
like people, and they just look like animals.
Do I have to be a cat, or can I choose to be another?
No, you are May, who is the main character of the story. She is unfortunately, what is she, 19, and college didn't end up working for her, and she
Wait,
ends up
she's
moving
19?
back home. Yeah.
She should almost be dead. She's a cat.
Just let that part go. Chris. Just-
Why do we bring him?
This is your fault. You did this.
I know.
You did this.
I could have started without him.
You could have, idiot.
All right, Kat. Sorry, she's 19. College didn't work out for her, and
Yep. She moves back home, and you kind of go through meeting your old friends, catching up with your parents, what's changed in the town. And honestly, I'm not sure what the whole part of the Night in the Woods is about. I had my first Night in the Woods today, and it wasn't anything special, so I'm not really sure where the game's going, but it's cute and it's fun, and there's little puzzles to solve, but unfortunately the first two puzzles that I came across was a run, jump, 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 which I suck at.
yeah, there's not a lot of platforming, and it's good because the platforming's not great.
And then I came across a Guitar Hero puzzle, which I am also not good at.
Nailed it.
like a rhythm puzzle or something. Okay.
Yeah, I played some
Yeah.
too, and I was happy to see that. I was like, ooh, all right, I got this. Notes coming down the string and hit X, triangle, square.
Well, some of your old friends, I guess, when you were in high school, you had a band. So you get the band back together and you play.
Like you do.
And so you're playing the notes just like in Guitar Hero. I am not made for those kind of games. So everyone was mad at me because it sucked.
It's got its own unique look. Like I really like the look of it. It's a really nice looking game. It looks, for people not watching, almost the art's kind of reminiscent a little bit of maybe South Park to me. But if South Park was trying to take itself seriously and look nice and not silly,
Like paper. It's like paper
Yeah, like-
pasted on top of paper.
What's that?
Look to
I
it.
can see
Yeah.
that.
I mean that as a compliment, not a dig.
Looks to me like what's that? God, what's that book?
A kid's book, yeah.
The kids' book, Snowy Day or Snow Day. That one.
I
I'm not
don't know.
familiar with it, but
Oh.
it has that look to it, yeah, for sure.
Something dark is definitely going to start happening in the game because, like, what am I allowed to share? Can I talk about that?
I don't think you're going to spoil anything from what you've seen so far.
At one point when I got together with friends, we came across a severed arm, and I got to poke it with a stick,
You do.
As you do.
like you do. So definitely, it's like there's weird stuff going on because May's aunt is a cop, and she keeps saying ominous things to May about how you need to be careful, and things are closing down in town, and there's just weird stuff happening. So I'm curious to see where the game's going because it's quite cute to be dark.
Yeah,
I love
played
the-
some too.
Go ahead.
I'm into it so far. Like this is a shitty small town. And you come back to the town, and like a lot of people are like, "Oh, you're back. You fucked up, huh? Not surprised. Welcome back to town, dummy." Like a lot of people are like, "Oh, you're still a fuck up, huh? Well, no one's surprised." And it's got kind of an air of she's kind of aimless. And as someone who dropped out of college and grew up in a shitty small town, I was just like, "Yep, I recognize all these feelings, sure."
It's pretty much Owlboy.
I like
This
the
game.
I like the Disney style anthropomorphized animal people doing jobs in outfits. Like it always cracks me up seeing like an alligator driving a car down the street and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's still like squirrels running along the
Yes,
telephone
there's
lines and stuff.
There's actually cat that will walk across too, like an actual
Right.
little kitty that walks across.
If the people are animals and the animals are animals.
Yeah.
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 And the places in town have the best names. Your friend works at what is it, Snack Falcon?
Snack Falcon.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's real good. And there's like a was it Donkey Mart or
The Donkey Mart went out and it was replaced by something Panther, like I don't know, something Panther.
Sex Panther?
No.
Steel Panther.
Well, there's the
There
old
it is.
pickaxe.
Donkey Mart got replaced by Grocery Panther. You know, it's little guys getting pushed out by a giant corporation all over again.
Exactly.
It's progress.
Yep. Bee's a bee too. She's mean until yesterday. So
Yeah, she's an alligator.
the alligator,
Oh,
she's mean. Her name's Bee, and she's a bee.
there you go.
But she's an alligator.
She's not nice. No.
Yeah, I'm interested to keep playing this. I've been looking forward to this one for a while. Very much digging it so far.
Cool to see
Oh.
where it will go.
Funny story is the May had porn on her laptop and had to find her friend Agnes to take it off for her.
Yeah, you go on your laptop, all the pop-ups are coming up.
All right.
I had a friend. So I was always the
Friend.
computer nerd. You know, this is a funny story. I had a computer. I was always the computer nerd. My dad fixed computers when I was growing up. That was his profession, and now it's my profession. But even back then, I want to say it was like middle school. I was in like 6th or 7th grade. And I remember getting a phone call from one of my friends that lived like a couple blocks down. And he's like, "Hey, I'm having trouble with the computer. I need you to come over." And I'm like, "Oh, what's going on?" He's like, I just need you to come over, and preferably really quick.
I don't want to talk about it, just
I'm like,
get over
okay.
here.
Okay, so I show up at my friend's house, and he's got somehow he'd accidentally found a nude picture and wallpapered it across his background. So like his whole desktop background was just like tiled of boobs, basically. And his parents were on the way home, and he couldn't figure out how to switch it back. So I had to go over there and show him how to change his desktop wallpaper, delete the files, and
just-
get on out of there.
Cut the power to the building.
Yeah.
Yeah, just it's over.
Monitors going out the window.
So- just throw this thing away. But yeah, it was real funny. Well, should we? Let's see. Darkest Dungeon happened, Brian.
It did.
We played it together, and there were many hazards in the way.
The stream was a bit of a train wreck.
Yeah, I apologize to anyone who tuned in thinking that we were playing We Need to Go Deeper, because apparently the Twitch stream didn't update when I changed the information for it. And we got a ton of people that jumped in to watch and were a little upset that the game was wrong. So my sincere apologies. I am a noob when it comes to this stuff. And apparently Twitch can just decide.
Wow,
to
we got a
ban
lot
you.
of viewers. Oh, and they're all pissed off at us.
Yeah, it was a weird feeling for our first like dual stream there. But other than that, I think it went pretty well. I'm terrible at this kind of game, and Brian plays it a lot, so it was neat to have somebody to walk me through it and kind of help me along.
Yeah, you took on the collector. I was pretty proud of you.
Yeah, the collector was a surprise. I thought for sure was that the run that I was like for sure gonna die, or was that the second one?
That was the second one.
Okay, yeah, because the first one was a nail biter, folks. Like I
Got
had
through
gotten,
the first one.
I got down. All my people were very low health and had very bad afflictions. And Brian, at one point, he's like, "Hey, I think there's an achievement for finishing a run
That's right.
with all of your party getting negative afflictions." He's like, "I don't think I even have that one," and I got it because
Nailed it.
spoiler alert, got to the last room and managed to make it out alive with everybody. So that was pretty cool. And then
And
the
I
second
met up with the
run-
collector, who's kind of like a mini boss that you can encounter, and he's this dude with, he's got this coat he opens up, and he's got like souls inside of it, and he summons enemies for you to fight, which are basically the, skeleton corpses of like party members that have been killed. Like you've got a highwayman, and he summons a highwayman with a spine dangling out of its skull. And
Let's see if I can find it, because he's
it's wonderful.
he's a bad time. Did I have the Hellion for that? I must have.
You did.
There he
Yep,
is.
you were using the Iron Swan.
That's right. Yep.
To hit
So
the back
yeah,
wall.
he's this big skeleton guy in a coat with a cage on his head, and he summons like the heads and spines, the like disembodied spine ghost things of fallen adventurers. And they can use their own abilities and stuff. Like there's one that tanks for him and can like absorb damage for him. And they continually get resummoned after you kill them. So it was a tough fight, but I made it through it. I persevered. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I think we should do that again, and I'll get the stream right this time so we don't get angry viewers. But yeah, I want to keep at it. I had fun with it. Unlocking new people is satisfying, like getting new people off the stagecoach. And
glad you warmed up to the game a little bit. There are still a few classes you haven't seen, I think.
Mm-hmm. And some of them are intimidating. Like it's like, oh, the Houndmaster. I don't understand how that works. He's got a pet, and I don't really get that. And you just gotta get in there and start playing with him, and it all starts to come together.
Yeah, the pet's really cosmetic. It's just he works like any other character. Just got a dog next to him.
Yep, good stuff. Well, the last one is a game that you guys played this week, and I didn't. I got in on the last one last week, but yeah, you did a 3-man. We need to go deeper. It was pretty cool. I got to watch this.
We went pretty deep.
Yeah, you did. You guys went real deep.
You did a 4-man run with us last week, I think, after the podcast, didn't we?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. We did.
So what was the big difference between that one and this one? Like, what did you guys have to do to make up for it?
We weren't carrying you.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
We were able to go deeper without you weighing us down.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, we had 2 sessions of it. The second one, we saw a new area, which is what you're seeing now on the stream, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just
it's creepy,
like garbage fish and these spiky puffer landmine things that explode and poop out mean fish. It's a real.
Is it called like the infected depth or something like that?
Yeah, yes. I think so. It's real ugly.
We found out that having a shield on is real effective.
Yeah,
it's kind of a necessity. When we were playing together, it was the 4 of us. What were we doing? The lights. 1 to the engine, 2 to torpedoes. You need to put 1 to shield, and that makes it far easier to tank a little bit of damage.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, that was fun. We got 3 levels deep, I think.
Yeah, we saw 3 areas. We got almost 5,000 fathoms deep.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Did you guys see the same 2 areas that we saw? Like, does it still progress in the same order?
It's not linear. No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's kind of
like
cool.
The actual maps are procedurally generated, and then I'll call them biomes. Looks like they can be random as well, but we've only seen, the top layer, which has always been the same, and then 2 has been switched from. I can't remember what it's called, like the infected one and the other dark one that we've seen.
Dark one. Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. Well, that's pretty neat. I like that there's some variety to it. It makes doing another session always something new. We could run into new obstacles and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's chaotic enough to where it feels like there's always danger, which I like in my games.
Yep. Yeah, it's one of those games where you can go from feeling like everything's fine and you got it to all of a sudden shit's all gone pear-shaped and you're about to lose. So.
Yeah, we went from a real comfortable position to dead in a matter of like 3 minutes, if that.
Less than that. It feels like you're at a spot where you're comfortable, and then you take on some damage, but it's manageable. But then all of a sudden you feel like you've just got it managed, and nope, you're dead within seconds. It's over. You're overrun, and nothing can be done.
Well, it seems to be something that we can keep going back to. Like
another 4-player stream should happen real soon, because that was a lot of fun.
Yep.
I'll be into that. Well, we don't have a lot for news this week, other than apparently there was a guy that died while streaming during a charity marathon for something. That's bad.
Yeah.
That's not what you want when you're doing a charity thing.
Yeah, and I'd read a thing from the Extra Life charity. That's the one where people will do 24-hour streams, marathons, and they were talking about possibly like discouraging people from doing that now, from doing it all in one sitting. Like, maybe do 12 hours and then go to sleep and do another 12 hours because it's not healthy to, do that for 24 hours. It's just not.
I mean, it's not anything anybody's, I don't know, ever not done before.
No, I know, but
I
don't think it's worth it. Like, it's great to raise money for charity, but
yeah,
that can, like, I don't think that's the only factor. I'm sure, but it's not good for you.
Didn't we read the guy was like, chain smoker and may have had other heart complications and stuff before?
Yeah.
So, I mean, not to say that means,
Yeah.
oh, he had it coming or whatever, but it just mean, that I think that's what the charity's probably trying to say is like, hey, we want people to participate, but
it's not worth putting health at risk for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
Stream in moderation.
Yes.
I wanna get into some games that are coming up here. We talked a little bit about Horizon Zero Dawn. I'm gonna throw some gameplay up of this. God, I wish this was not a PS4 exclusive because it looks so cool. It has the elements of Skyrim in it. It has some Zelda-ish elements to it. It looks.
You know what else has Zelda and Skyrim? Zelda.
We'll get to that, Kring. You dirty bastard man. Does Zelda have robot animals in it? Oh yeah, actually I think it does.
Zelda does. Yeah. Zelda has like a big fucking rock monster you can climb on.
Yeah.
That's Shadow of the Colossus you're thinking of.
Oh no, it's
Zelda's got that
the new
too now.
Zelda, yep.
Yeah. Breath of the Wild.
Zelda has everything. It's the only game you ever need.
Yes, it is. That and GTA 5.
Yes.
This looks so cool though.
Yeah, Zelda looks real good. But yeah, this looks like a nice consolation prize.
This looks better.
It looks real cool. Like
It looks real good.
Really cool
Yeah,
looking
I'm
Viking
not sure of the
chick and
story as far as why there are animal robots, but they've got
Need a reason?
different nope. You have different
like-
pieces of gear on them. It's like, if you shoot the shield generator on its back, then it doesn't generate shields anymore, and you kind of like dismantle them as you fight to take away certain abilities.
Wow.
And it's gorgeous. It's goddamn gorgeous.
It's like a futuristic Elder Scrolls Zelda starring a Disney princess. That's what that looks like.
yeah.
God damn it, Brian.
If I can't get a Switch in a timely fashion, it might be PS4 time.
Well, every time Nintendo announces something about the Switch, I feel like I made a huge mistake, and now I want a PS4.
Well, you have to ask if the only good that comes from the Switch is Mario and Zelda and Mario Kart, will you still be satisfied, or will you feel shitty about it? Like, if Zelda's everything you want it to be, but there aren't a lot of other good games for it.
Well, one of the things that I was going to say was going to be a consolation prize. We've now, and Nintendo has, this past week announced is not going to be a thing at launch, and that's Virtual Console. And I was real pumped up to get, I was hoping maybe we'd see the HD remakes of Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, because those are...
Why?
Because they actually look good. It's the same great game, but not so, garbage looking.
Looking good would help. I never played Majora's Mask.
Majora's Mask is, I think, the most underrated title in the entire series. It's probably my second favorite one behind Wind Waker. It's real good. But anyway, I was hoping to see some of that. Maybe, I heard that they were going to possibly be able to do GameCube games on this time around, so I was hoping for maybe like a Luigi's Mansion, something like that.
I never actually played that.
It's quite a good game. It got a lot of shit at launch.
You got a lot of shit because it wasn't a Mario game.
Because it wasn't a Mario game. I feel like a lot of their GameCube titles got a lot of shit, but then you look back on them and they're all really solid games that still look pretty good to this day, aged really well.
I think what you mean is after we got the Wii and then the Wii U, then we look back at the GameCube and say, man, those were the good times.
Well,
we just didn't know it.
It could be, but like Wind Waker got a lot of shit because of how it looked at the time, because everybody was all bummed
idiots.
out and they're stupid. But you look back at it now and that game is probably today the best looking game from that entire generation in terms of how well it aged. But no, they've announced that Virtual Console is not going to be a thing at launch, and maybe sometime soon.
I'd heard that it wasn't available at launch on the Wii U either, and I can't confirm or deny that, but I don't think this is new for Nintendo.
The question in my mind always comes to why? What is it about Nintendo that makes this kind of thing so difficult? Like,
I think they're trying to fix the Virtual Console to where your purchases are tied to your Nintendo account, so you can actually carry them over and not just be like, new console? Well, time to buy this game again.
I would like to believe that too, Brian, but they've given us absolutely no reason to think that that's the case. As far as I know, I haven't heard that from anybody, so...
I don't know why they always do this with their consoles too, because now we've got this console and it's, oh sweet, at launch I can get Zelda or 1-2 Switch, and 1-2 Switch isn't a fucking game. So what is the point of that? So I can get one game at launch, and
Seems
then
like
that's the one I
tech
can
demo.
That's the one I can get until April when they come out with Mario Kart, and then there's not jack shit until Skyrim comes along, but I already own that on PC twice, and then I get to wait until Christmas for Mario. Sweet.
Yeah, it's not. We've had all kinds of stuff this week. We've heard that the Joy-Cons are not quite syncing properly.
I like the left
Which
one
means I get to go
dropping.
and buy a Pro controller for $70 to make sure that the left hand of my controller actually works.
Krang. Zelda.
I know.
Just watch the stream,
I
though.
know.
Just watch the stream, though. The one other item that made news was that the internal storage is like 25 gigs, I think is what you have available to you.
Yeah,
after
I'd read
the
that there's
OS.
a Japanese-only game that's coming out that's more than 25 gigs, like right off the rip. It's like, here's a game that you can't use. Go
You
buy
have
an
to
SD
memory card. Yeah. Now that's if you download the digital version. If you buy the cartridge, obviously that's not the case. But it's just it's getting a lot of, I wouldn't say negative press necessarily, but
Concern.
It's some.
There's a lot of head
Hopefully
scratching.
not.
Like, why would you do this?
And that's what
What's
I
the
meant. Like,
point?
I just don't get like if they were
Well,
to come out
and-
and say, "Hey, look, this is why we did this. This is why we chose this size. But we have data that shows most people are going to buy the physical copies." You know, and if you want a bigger cartridge, then you buy a bigger one. Like, it's not so different from the days of, you know, the PS2 and the GameCube and all of that when you had to have a memory card.
Or with the Xbox One, I burned through that 500 gig hard drive, and now I
Yeah.
have a 4 terabyte hooked up to an external to store all my stuff on it. So
I'm just looking at this and thinking about all the stuff I'm hearing about the console release, and what if Nintendo devoted all the resources to only developing games and not consoles?
Yep, because
Yep.
this Zelda game.
Dream
looks
along
like
with me.
everything
Close
I've
your
ever
eyes.
wanted. Yeah,
Let's
we've
hold-
had that discussion many times, Craig and I at least, and it's
What if you could buy Zelda for the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox?
Yeah.
Maxwell,
PC.
PC.
Maxwell, do you know how many Xbox Ones and PS4s have been sold globally since their launch?
Lots.
Total? 75 million. Do you know how many Wii U's have been sold since it launched?
Not
5.
lots. Fewer. More. 100 million.
13.
13.
13 consoles.
13.
Vito's
So
got one.
they could have 6 times as many people available to them if they just fucking quit making consoles altogether.
Seriously.
I
They could
wonder
sell
how
6
much of
times
it
as many
is
copies of their games.
Just their
And-
sort of old school mindset of
Yep.
like, no, this is tradition. This is who we are. What we do.
and then they could sell it on PC, and then they could sell all their old stuff. Psh, you want to bundle? You want to bundle together all the old Zelda games and sell it to me for $150? I will pay for that. I will pay you $150 for that, even though that's
money.
Yep. Even though that's way too much money for that, I would still pay it.
They should just make Virtual Console for PC as well, and be like Steam.
Yeah, that's sure. Why not?
Yeah, they could.
I'll take it however I can get it at this point.
I'm talking myself out of a Switch, even though every time I look at this Zelda game, I'm right back in.
Well, okay, let's talk about the good things.
Get it, play it, and then sell it to Tyler.
There you go.
That's what I should do. You're right, Brian.
Push it off on some dummy. Yeah.
Look at this Zelda game, though. I mean, it's got everything I've ever asked for. It's got clothes for my Link Dolly. It's got
I'm
dye.
gonna get that Switch
shirt for him.
You can dye his clothes. He's walking around with a big fucking hammer right now. That's pretty cool.
Wait, can I dye my Switch T-shirt? If I can dye my clothes, can I change the color of that? Because that might sell me on that Switch T-shirt.
Yeah, you could probably wear it in pink, Crane.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Pink and green.
Pink and green. Give me that pink and green Nintendo Switch T-shirt.
Luke, I think we had this discussion way back when we worked in Geek Squad together about just give me an open world Zelda where I can pick up items and get different abilities and have a big hammer. And I think you called the character Zelda, and I had to take away your nerd card.
No, that part never happened.
I don't think he ever got it back.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, can you ever get it back after you call Link Zelda?
I did get it back. Yes.
I feel like that's a permanent.
I think I had to give it back when I did something equally dumb.
But we had basically discussed this exact game like
it's
6 years ago.
It's from what I can see, it's
4?
exactly what I've wanted for as long as I can remember. So.
And from what I hear, like, you don't get all the tutorial shit that lasts for hours. Like it feeds you tutorials as you need them. It's like, okay, go where you want. Oh, you're in combat for the first time. Okay, let us give you a quick. This is what your buttons do. Now go.
Which is exactly how it should be. Instead
horse around.
Instead of watching a cinematic of like, this is how you move a block, because now we need to get you up on this block to push a block. Like, no, Link knows how to do that. He's been doing this for
like
30
Twilight
years.
Princess, where it makes you wrestle the fucking goats for 10 minutes.
Yeah, so you can figure out how to press your A button.
Yeah, aren't you hurting them?
No. It was like, did you play Twilight Princess, Maxwell?
Not for very long.
So your these like goats get loose or something like that, and this one comes charging right down the this little trench, I guess, down through the middle of the town, and you get run right over, just barrels right over you, and then this dude teaches you how to like. You grab it by the horns and slow it down, and then throw it off to the side, like wrestle it away. So,
wrestling goats, huh?
Wrestling goats. Yep.
Hashtag not my Zelda.
Yeah.
This is hashtag very much my Zelda. So
yeah, this looks fantastic.
Yeah, the game is flawless, but everything about the console is that stupid Nintendo stuff that is just terrible.
I wouldn't go that far.
I'll admit,
flaws, but
when I was in GameStop for my PS4, they have stacks of used consoles. I'm just like, there's a Wii U right behind me. I could just get that and get my Zelda.
Yeah, but aren't they still asking like $200 for those?
Yeah. And
that seems steep when I'm looking at a Switch for $3.
Yeah. I came to my senses, but there was that moment I'm just like, that's a pathway to Zelda. Mm-hmm. No. That's a pathway.
Yeah, and then you get that Wind Waker HD goodness as well.
Yeah, I tried the like on the PC, it had too many problems for me to stick with.
Breath of the Wild, Wind Waker HD. Just saying.
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Wii U hype.
Yeah, but every single one of these PS4 games, Maxwell, that you've been talking about, just make me go, boy, for the amount of money I'm pre-ordered on this Switch, I could take it all, throw it at a PS4, and
It's
get
got
a
a
couple of
library.
games. And
It's got a big library of games that
Yep.
are pretty cheap, a lot of them now. And
give me
a
that.
couple of them already failed for me, like Uncharted 4. It's gorgeous. The climbing didn't really catch me, and then I had a couple of gunfights.
Yes.
It's like,
Yes.
I don't know,
Yes.
just trying to get my cursor on guys that are running around
Uh-huh.
shooting at me. It's like playing whack-a-mole with analog sticks. Just no.
This is what I wanted to talk to you
God,
about.
it's pretty, though.
I the games are beautiful. The story is great. I played through Uncharted, and then I played through Uncharted 2 back when Uncharted 2 was like the greatest thing on earth, and I thought both games were boring outside of the story. Like,
Yeah.
in years gone by, it was a lot of times the story sucked and the gameplay was good, so you'd like want to skip the cutscenes so you could get back to playing the game. I actively did not enjoy. I hated playing through the game and just was like trying to get through areas as fast as I could because it was boring, just so I could get back to that awesome story and those cutscenes that were gorgeous. But then I realized, dude, if I'm doing this, I'll just go fucking home and watch
I'll
Indiana
spend
Jones.
an hour on YouTube.
Like, I'll just go watch Indiana Jones and not worry about playing this game anymore.
Yep. And I also played Last of Us for about an hour, and I had Luke's voice in my head saying, I don't play video games to feel bad. I don't play video games to feel sad and angry and miserable. And that game made me want to eat a bullet. That was just the first half hour. Anyone who's played it knows what I'm talking about. It's just the most hopeless, miserable experience. Like, nice looking game, well made, good story, but I don't need to invite any more sadness or misery into the world. So I decided
So
not
pass.
for me. Yeah, you would feel the same, Tyler. I can 100% guarantee it.
Yeah, it's one that I was told I needed to play and all that stuff, and after I
Nope.
heard about how heartbreaking the first section of it is,
I know how you are and don't. That's
Thanks,
not
I
a thing.
appreciate that.
I know what winds your clock and unwinds your clock.
hmm
Yeah, no.
Yeah, not for me. That's okay. What is for me is this Zelda, though.
God,
It's
it's
very
Zelda.
fun.
Zelda
It's-
hype.
Yeah, it looks real amazing.
How many hours, Crane? What are you down to?
What time is it?
12:17.
We are down to 5 days. Is it 5 days now? Yeah, 5 days. 23 hours and 43 minutes.
I've got
Let's do it.
to
get
switch it
stepped
from
up.
Zelda to something that looks like Zelda but more techno inspired. This honestly could be Final Fantasy 15 almost. It's another game coming out soon called Nier Automata. Is that it right?
Sure.
Automata? Something?
Automata, I would assume.
Automata? Whatever. Nier. It's a new Nier game, and it looks like a Japanese Zelda.
I saw a little bit of footage from
So-
this, and the intriguing thing was that, like, the gameplay, the combat will shift from like third person to to a first person to side scrolling. Like, it's got a lot of different combat modes, and it's all very seamless and well done from what I've heard and seen.
Yeah, it looks pretty neat for a third-person, action adventure game.
Hmm.
There was a boss fight. I wonder if I think I skipped that part. Yeah,
Right.
switch.
Right,
smo-
pig.
Yeah, it was riding a pig. There's this boss fight that seems to happen in some kind of like a theater, and it looks really cool.
Hang on. Talk more about this riding a pig,
Well,
because this is where it's at.
it kind of
Look
explains
at it. He's like doing like power slides on a pig.
Yeah, that's what you do. You get a pig, you do power slides.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, Tyler cut it up.
You
with
never
the stupid
done that
boss
before?
fight.
There seems to be a like Devil May Cry aspect to it. There seems to be kind of like a God of War style combat to it, and then you have like a little floating drone thing that reminds me of Navi from Ocarina of Time a bit. But that thing also gets involved in the combat. It like shoots bullets at, and you can like glide on it and stuff. It looks pretty neat.
There's a lot of good games coming out over the next couple of months.
Normally this is something I would scoff at and
PS4.
say not my thing, but yeah, it definitely looks like something worth checking out if you've got the console to do it on, which I don't.
Maybe I'll just get rid of my Xbox, get a PlayStation.
Yeah, I regret getting the Xbox One just for my taste in games. And the things just felt, I don't know, clunky and
Yeah.
not great.
What's the trade-in look like on that Xbox One right about now?
Last I looked, it was not so great.
Yeah.
They've got one or two new models coming out. They've got the Scorpio coming out this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's weird.
Project
Like
Scorpio.
it's a weird time for console gaming. Like they're not releasing PlayStation 5, they're releasing PlayStation Pro, and they're not doing the next Xbox. They're doing like iterations on the same generation.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think they want to get away from. I don't know. It's weird because back, before the previous generation, it was always 4 to 5 years. That's a console's lifespan, and then they're moving on to the next one, and it's like a cut and dry stop.
Yep.
But the Xbox 360 is still kicking, and that thing came out 12 years ago. And the PlayStation 4 was an 11-year-old console, and that or PlayStation 3, excuse me.
Yep.
And that's still kicking. They're both still getting new games.
And I don't think it's necessarily bad. It's just something that we're not used to seeing. And if they can do it the right way to where they're not leaving like the people that bought the original PlayStation 4 and original Xbox One behind, like, here's this new game. Can't play it on your old console. Got to get the new one. As long as they're not doing that.
But the thing that is kind of like, I don't know. It always felt like. So when I bought my Xbox 360, and the same thing happened when I got the GameCube when that first came out. It felt like there was a very sudden and very direct shift where everything was just like, nope, we're moving forward. We're not going to focus on this old stuff anymore. We're going to move forward. Whatever we had in development that's close, we'll pull out or we'll put out. But if it's like just started, we're moving it to the new stuff. Whereas
like they announced the Wii U, and it's like, as a Wii owner, it's like, well, I guess we're done now.
Yeah, I've not ever felt that way about the Xbox One. It's always been like, oh, hey, here's this new Xbox One game, but we're also going to port it to Xbox 360 and PS3, and it's going to be, dumbed down so it can run on those things. We haven't ever gotten to the point where I felt like this Xbox One was the star of the show, and now they're replacing it already. But they're not.
Better Xbox One.
Yeah, but they're not.
A lot of it's like taking advantage of 4K TVs and stuff where it's like,
which I get. The One S, they put a 4K Blu-ray drive in. That I'm fine with. That's like your standard type of upgrades. But the Scorpio thing is like, no, that's what would have been a brand new console years past. I don't know how I feel about this.
I heard a while back that there was talk that they're basically trying to parody the phone industry. That like
that's what I was going to say. Yeah,
the people are used to upgrading their phones every couple.
There's
of years
iterations.
Now, so yeah, if they can pump out something that's marginally better to keep people with that idea of an upgrade path for it.
Yeah, when the Scorpio comes around, I'm sure they'll be like, hey, trade in your Xbox One for X dollars more and just get a new one.
But this Xbox cost me $500 up front. Like,
right.
There was no subsidy. There was no monthly payments. It's $500 up front, one shot. I didn't even have a game for like the first week or two after I got this console because I spent all of my money on it. And with a phone, at least I can, my carrier will subsidize it and I'll pay $200 for it. Now I'm doing the monthly payments, and that's a 2-year lifespan for a couple $100. That's doable. It's not like here's 3 years, you just spent $500, but then 3 years later we're gonna replace it. I
wonder if it'll be like deals where you can sign up for a year of Xbox Gold and get $100 off of your console. Or I could see that being a thing.
I thought there was something in the works that they were planning to do something like that.
That wouldn't surprise me.
I've seen stuff for PC that's similar, where they've proposed like this modular. I can't remember what the name of it was. I have to think back. I have to try to find it. But it was this modular PC where you could easily hot swap components, and the idea that somebody had for it was like you could essentially lease or rent your hardware from it. And so, say you've got a Titan in your computer now, NVIDIA releases their new GTX whatever Titan Black Edition, and you want to upgrade to that. Maybe it's only an extra, $5 more than what you're already paying to have that. So you can ship that one back. They ship you the new one, and you just trade it out. And it's basically like a subscription service to a gaming PC. It's weird, but it's weird to think
Depends
about
on the
that kind of
details.
stuff. But yeah, I mean,
It's not
basically
entirely
that kind
without
of
merit.
stuff. Right. It's sometimes, if you think about, like, well, what would it cost me to actually upgrade to the latest and greatest all the time? For people who can't afford to always upgrade, I would imagine something like that could be more affordable. But yeah, who knows? I could see something like that, like what you guys are saying, like almost a subscription to owning a console too. Like, you're trading in your old one, you're basically leasing it at that point. But we'll
It all
see.
seems weird to me.
Yeah, Luke, but you haven't been a console gamer for I don't know how long, right?
I own a
Since-
PS2.
Did you?
Yeah, for Guitar Hero.
Does
Yeah,
that
I'm kind of leaning the Luke way. Maybe I'll just start sinking money into my PC and then get a Nintendo console so I can play Mario and Zelda, and then pretty much everything else will come out on PC at some point.
Except Horizon Zero Dawn and
I don't need Horizon Zero Dawn. I have Zelda.
are you though?
You will.
I will have Zelda. I will have Zelda, and I will have a Switch. Zelda will be the only thing I'll have for it because 2 Switches in the game.
Well, I think we've beat that horse to death and more. So I think that's going to do it for this one, guys. Everybody that tuned in, thank you so much for watching along live with us at twitch.tv/questlogcast. You can find the show every single week on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play Music, or you can go right to questlogcast.com and stream it right from there. You can get us on YouTube. There's a new link. It's watch.questlogcast.com/YouTube to find all the old shows and this one shortly. And you can follow us on Twitter at questlogcast. Luke, can you email the show? I forgot.
Yes, you can.
You can. It's mail@questlogcast.com, and we'll read it right here on the show. Whatever you send us, doesn't matter. It can be
Anything
can be a
you send
recipe.
us.
Yeah, send it in. Try. See if it makes it on the show. Who knows?
Should have a lot to talk about next week.
Yeah, next week Crean's gonna have a Switch. I'm going to have played a
Zelda.
Switch, so we'll see. We'll see what
I'm gonna
happens.
have Horizon.
Yeah, it's gonna be a doozy.
Yeah. And I'm going to be in space again.
Aren't you in space like every week?
I don't know what Crean's talking about. It's
I don't
late.
either.
No, I
Very
feel
try-hard
like no. I feel like
That one didn't
serious.
land.
I feel like most of Luke's games have at least had a space theme to them, and he's playing a lot of games like Astroneer.
That is a Luke theme.
Yeah, I did
Space.
actually go out and look for a space sim when I found Holy Potatoes, so yeah.
Right. See, I'm not wrong
Okay,
here.
well,
Okay,
it
alright, sorry.
sounded like you were trying to do a thing, and it really fell short.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
another
well.
Crean joke, but it's okay. All right, everybody. Thanks again.
They can't
Catch
all
you
be
guys
winners.
next week.